Hey guys, and welcome back to another one. Hope that you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now today we've got here the latest machine available from Zidoo, which is the X6 Pro, and with no further ado, so let's take a look at it. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you in a few seconds. And here we are with the Zidoo X6 Pro that features the Rockchip 3368 CPU, the PowerVR G6110, 2GB of DDR3 Ram, and 16GB of eMMC flash storage with Android Lollipop 5.1.1. And going through our usual quick unboxing experience, once we open the package we will find the usual documentation that no one reads, a power adapter, one IR remote control, one HDMI cable, and finally the Zidoo X6 Pro. And here I would like to add that the top of the box is made of a thin metal sheet and the sides and bottom are made of plastic. And in terms of design, which is always something personal and very subjective, but I really like to see Zidoo coming with refreshing and different designs, and we've seen that on the X9, X1 and now on the X6 Pro. And now taking a closer look at the X6, at the front we will find a blue light when the device is on, which is actually dimmer than it seems on camera, and I had it on my bedroom for a couple of nights and it has my wife's approval, which is always important. On the left hand side it has two USB 2.0 ports and one micro SD card slot. On the right hand side no ports at all. At the back one power input jack, AV out, gigabit Ethernet connection, and one HDMI 2.0 and a optical out. Finally at the top the Zidoo logo and reference to the CPU on that thin metal sheet, and at the bottom 4 rubber feet and some vents. And turning the machine on, this is the default launcher that we will find, which is clean and very easy to use, but as I always mention on all my videos, if you're not happy with it, just install any other launcher. It also comes with online updates as usual on Zidoo boxes, which at the moment of the recording it's running the latest version available, and it comes with a nice feature which is the ability to power off and also to completely shut down the machine and start it up with the remote control. And talking about the remote control, it is an infrared remote that we have seen exactly the same on the X1, which has some interesting features, but I'll post a link right over here so that you can check some more details. In terms of performance, it works quite well for an infrared remote, but as usual, if we don't point it directly to the device, there will be no signal. So I always suggest a wireless remote for a better experience. And moving along to our usual benchmarks and starting with speed test, we are getting a nice read speed of 79 megabytes per second and 19 megabytes on reads. And to better evaluate the performance of the disk, we are as usual opening and closing an app like Kodi. And moving along to the network speed test using a power line adapter on Wi-Fi, we are getting roughly 42 megabits per second on download and 20 megabits per second on upload. On the Ethernet connection, 92 megabits per second on download and 20 megabits per second on upload. Which, by the way, the power line adapters that I'm using at this moment are the Devolo power line adapter kit with gigabit connection and Wi-Fi AC. And if you want to check a full review, it's available on the channel. Just check out the YouTube card on the right top corner of this video. On Geekbench 3 we got 531 on single core score and 1858 on multi-core score. On Antuntune roughly 28,000, 3D Mark score, iStorm Extreme 4500, and finally on Epic Citadel 46.3 frames per second of average score. And moving away from all those benchmarks, and in terms of gaming, the X6 Pro handles anything on the Play Store right now. And I did test it out with Brothers in Arms 3 and Asphalt 8 Airborne, as we can see on screen, and both of them with great results. And in terms of video playback, the X6 comes with an optimized version of Kodi 15.1 that has a great playback, and always having in mind that all the files played are on my NAS and streamed across my network. Now the tests were done with H.264 and H.265 codecs at 1080p and 4K resolutions using Big Buck Bunny, Tears of Steel and Syntel, and all of them played really smooth. The only drawback here is that on my fast forwarding and rewinding tests, this version version of Kodi needs some improvement as it is not responsive enough. It takes a while since we press the button until the movie catches on. On the other hand, testing with Kodi 15.2, this resolves the fast forwarding issue, but I did notice some frame droppings in movies like Big Buck Bunny. And talking about Big Buck Bunny, Tears of Steel and Sintel, all of them were shown publicly under Creative Commons 3.0, and all credits too are down below on the video description. And finally, testing out the AirPlay capability of the X6 Pro, and for that I'm using, as always, my favorite app, which is Airplay Pro. Now, testing out with the iPhone 4S and the iPad mini with Retina display, the results on mirroring and also on streaming are just great with no issues at all. But on the other hand, streaming from the Imac, high bitrate files like photo slideshows from the Photo app, magazine style sliding panels and vintage prints, the playback is not very smooth and there is a noticeable frame dropping here. Audio was fine, but the image not quite, so it will need some tweaks on the firmware. So in conclusion, guys, things that I did like the most on the X6 Pro were the overall design of the machine, the ability to shut down completely and start it up with the remote control, the overall performance, and finally it is rooted from factory. On the other hand, things that I did like the less were related to firmware, and it is the AirPlay from high bitrate files. It is not smooth, and Zidoo's Kodi version needs a small tweak so that we can smoothly use the fast forward and rewinding function. And that is it regarding the Zidoo X6 Pro review. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if it is so, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.